Hey gang, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a very long minute since I uploaded anything. Well, I uploaded 2 videos recently, but I should say it's been a very long minute since I filmed anything. And I'll make a video in the coming few weeks about, I'll give a life update and reasons for my absence. So a bit very long story short, I just lost interest in YouTube, but now I'm wanting to go back into it. So here I am. I'm back, but I'll go into more detail in that video coming soon. But for now, I really wanted to make a story about me coming out as gay because I just now realized I don't have that story on here. So I wanted to make one talk about my own experience. Okay, so I'm 27 right now, and I came out as gay when I was 15 in early 2011, but I knew I was gay since I was 11. So yeah, we'll go back to when I was 11 and how I subconsciously knew I was gay. And it all started with the movie Titanic. My parents had that movie, and they let me watch it. And as we all know, Leo DiCaprio is in that movie, and he's a total stunner. He was the it guy of the late 90s, or the pretty boy of the 90s, or whatever the phrase was for him. But basically, I'm saying is that I was just so enthralled and captured and stunned by his good looks and charm, and along with that, he's also a fantastic actor too. So I was just totally crushing my first ever male celebrity crush. And so when it got to the love scene of Titanic, you already know what scene I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. I noticed I was paying way more attention to Jack than Rose. And that was the point where I couldn't get that off of my mind. And I watched Titanic some more times after that, because just apart from Leo DiCaprio, it was a fantastic movie in my opinion. But I noticed that every time I was watching it, I would just pay full attention to Jack, and I began to have fantasies about him, and I noticed I was getting excited by these fantasies, and I loved that feeling. And so fantasies became like almost a nightly thing, and only that, but this was also when puberty was starting for me. So my hormones were raging, everything was just everything was just out of control. And then shortly after I began fantasizing about Leo DiCaprio, I started branching out to other guys, fantasizing about other guys. And I would basically do it like almost every night when I would go to sleep. It became like a nighttime activity for me, pretty much. God, I'm sorry. I don't think I've ever told anybody this, honestly. Or not this part, at least. But yeah, I noticed that every time I would fantasize about these guys, I became so excited and aroused, and I loved that feeling. However, over the months, I noticed, well, not noticed, but I told myself, okay, this is fun and all, but this has to be just a phase. Like, there's no way I'm gay. I'm gonna grow out of it. Now, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit further real quick, because I forgot to, I probably should add this first, but there were signs I was stereotypically gay prior to me having these fantasies. Like, for example, when I think it was in 4th grade, a lot of the kids made fun of me because I apparently walked like a girl, which really confused me, because I was like, okay, I'm not sure how a girl walks, but I think I walk like a regular boy. At least I thought I did, but apparently to them, they thought I walked like a girl. Like, oh, that didn't make any sense to me. I thought I walked, normally. Whatever normally was back then, I guess, to a kid. But there was that. I preferred hanging out with girls more than boys. Back in elementary school, I had more friends who were girls that compared to friends who were boys. Um, I also liked I loved listening to Britney Spears and the Spice Girls as a little kid. So yeah, there were signs. Oh, and I liked wearing a towel over my head and pretending I was a little girl. When I was like that was when I was like 8, 9, 10, around that age. So there were signs. There were big like major signs. But then okay, so flash forward back to middle school age. Um, I told myself, okay, there's no way I'm actually gay. It just can't. It has to be a phase. I'll grow out of this phase. And then after I get out of this phase, I'll find a girlfriend. Get married, have kids. Live the typical American dream lifestyle, right? Well, obviously, I was dead wrong. Um, more months pass by. I enter high school. I'm still having these fantasies about guys. Nothing was changing. I was still getting excited by these fantasies, and I'm thinking to myself, crap, it's this is a really long phase. So what happens is I went on Google and I searched. I don't remember exactly what I searched, but it was something along the lines of how long does being attracted to guys last as a teenage boy, or it was something along those lines. I was basically asking how long does this gay phase go on for when you're a teenage boy. Um, I don't remember all the results that I looked at, but I remember looking at Yahoo Answers. Who remembers that? And a couple other sex education websites geared towards teenagers. Basically, everything that I looked at says, well, it's not really a phase. You're pretty much born that way. And I remember thinking, no, 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 no. There's no way I was born that way. Not possible. Because at that time I was taught that being gay is a sin and it's a life choice. Now, I wasn't me and my family. We weren't like active churchgoers. We would go like every once in a blue moon. But and we label in my mom and I labeled ourselves as Christian. My dad wasn't ever really that religious. He didn't really have a religion. He just went along with it just because that's something my mom wanted to do. But but basically, it was ingrained in my head that being gay was a sin, as a choice, and I got that from the church that we were going to, among other folks and other places on the internet saying that it's a choice and a sin. Oop, sorry, I knocked my elbow into the closet door. um, So yeah, so I told myself, no, 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 there's no way I'm born that way. That cannot be right. It just can't be. So I go into like extreme denial mode, and I get into like a really bad state of depression, to the point where I'm just mopey all the time. I wanted to end myself. I thought that, I remember thinking to myself, if I come out, that's it. I'm condemned to hell. I'm condemned to being bullied for the rest of my life. I might get killed, because unfortunately people out there like that still exist to this day. I was so terrified because I've read the stories online and I've heard stories in real life about gay kids being kicked out of their houses by the parents, or gay kids being bullied and hurt, or even murdered, and also discriminated against in the job force, among other things. And I was just, like I said, I was terrified of the reality of me being gay. So I vent about this to my so I was also seeing a therapist at the time because I was going through other issues alongside, struggling with being gay. And I told the therapist along with my mom and dad, well, sorry, let me get to my mom and dad first. I vented my um, struggles with this, and they were more supportive than I thought they were going to be and understanding. They pretty much said, well, honey, if you're struggling with being gay, you might actually be gay, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I was a little surprised by that because, the topic of homosexuality never ever came up in our family conversations. So I didn't know what their reaction would be to me coming out as gay, let alone even talking about this stuff in the first place. So that also added to the fear of, oh my god, are they gonna kick me out for being gay, or are they gonna just what are they gonna do to me? So naturally I assumed that the reaction would be negative. Thankfully it wasn't, but looking back on it, I don't blame myself for can't blame myself for being terrified at even venting about potentially being gay, because like I said, it was never ever talked about at all. So back to the therapist. So went with my therapist about it. She was helpful too, but she was also kind of, I don't know, she was, I think she was trying to trying to let me figure it out on my own rather than giving me a clear answer of, no, Cameron, you're definitely gay because you're having these constant thoughts and feelings about other guys. And so, but yeah, she wasn't giving me any clear answers, but I think that's what I think she was trying to let me figure out on my own, which I guess that's fair. It's as a therapist, I don't think you can label someone like that. And so what I did was I came out as bisexual. And because in my mind, I thought, okay, if I come out as bisexual, then, that might soften the blow of me potentially being gay later down the road. I don't think anybody was really convinced by me saying I was bisexual. And then come to find out, I did research later on. I think it was 2010, maybe 2009. Anyway, I did research on the internet later on about how it was actually common for not just guys but girls to come out as bisexual, but then later on come out as lesbian or gay. It was basically seen as a stepping stone to actually being gay. And when I read that, I'm just like, oh, damn it. Because I knew I knew I was lying to myself. I knew I was lying to myself. I just did not want to say it out loud that I am gay, because I knew if I said out loud I am gay, there would be no taking it back, and I would have to face the harsh reality that a gay person has to deal with. And I didn't want that. I did not want to be gay. I wanted to be straight. I wanted to live the traditional, typical lifestyle of American straight guy. But so after that fiasco happened, more months of depression and mood swings and anxieties over this was just still occurring, still going on, still building up. I kept envisioning that, and I kept telling myself, dude, if I come out as gay, it's over for me. I'm not gonna be successful in life. I'm not gonna have the life that my parents would want for me. Obviously they're obviously fine with it now, and that's they want me to be happy. They're very supportive, but I just was thinking to myself, maybe I remember at that time thinking, I don't think this is what my parents wanted. I don't think they wanted a gay kid. So, I was just, filling myself with all that fear and anxiety and terror for months. And I did try to date girls, around that time, in middle school and early high school, but that didn't work out. Not because I was gay, but it just didn't happen to work out like that. And I even try to fantasize about girls too, the same way that I fantasize about guys, but obviously that didn't work either. You can't force it. So I was just, and not only that, I didn't have any really friends to talk to about this. I didn't really, I had very few friends in high school, and I was also worried about what they would think because, like I said, the topic of being gay also never brought up in my friend circle. And but naturally I assumed that their reaction would be negative because that's just that was like more than 10 years ago. That's just how the average person was probably back then, was that their reaction to being gay was going to be negative. So that's why I didn't say anything when I was in high school about it. So I felt alone. I felt lonely. I didn't think there was going to be a future for me. And but then early 2011 comes. I don't remember exactly how it happened or how it came to me, but I, in the state of my state of depression, I remember I had like an epiphany. I remember telling myself, okay, I'm sick and tired of feeling hopeless, miserable, down. I'm I'm tired of feeling like this. So the only way out I saw myself, coming out of that spiral would just to be would be to just accept that I'm gay and accept that these are the feelings and thoughts I have. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I can obviously I can control the fantasies, but I can't control me being attracted to guys. So it was. I think it had. I think it was a little bit of a gradual process, but basically you know, came out to myself first that I'm gay. That's and that's just the way it is. I was born that way. That's it. And then shortly after that, I officially came out to my immediate family. They were all supportive and understanding, um, which I am still so lucky and grateful for to this very day. And then my parents told my extended family and relatives that I was gay, and they were also very supportive and understanding. Thankfully, also very lucky and grateful for. And then I came out to my circle of friends in early 2014 at 18. And also, majority were supportive, understanding. I did notice I did lose a couple of friends over that. Um, but, well, for one, the friends I did lose, there weren't people that I really hung out with that much anyway, so not a big loss. And two, it was, I kind of did expect it. That's just the fortunate reality of coming out as gay. People aren't going to understand that, or they refuse to understand that, and they'd rather just not associate with that at all. So after I came out at 15, I felt like the weight was lifted off my shoulder. I felt like I could breathe again because I accepted the reality of my situation. I stopped rejecting it. I stopped trying to deny it. I stopped trying to suppress it. I admitted it to myself, and it felt really good. It really did. And I'm still super grateful and lucky that I have a supportive circle, and I still do to this day, because I know not every LGBTQ person has that. You know, a lot of them still get disowned and kicked out from their parents' houses. You know, a lot of them have friends that leave them that think they're disgusting or pedophile. And it's just my tip for people who are, identify as LGBTQ and are struggling to come out, or who have come out but are like struggling to deal with like the fallout of that situation. My tip for you is, if for the people that you have in your life who are supportive and understanding of who you really are, never ever let go of that, because that is what's gonna really help you through this chaotic life. And yeah, that's a lesson that took me like a long time to learn, because I didn't really take that fact seriously when I was younger. And I mean, I have a really small circle of friends now, but you know what? They're the best kind of friends I could ever have. They're the most reliable and, best people I could really ever have. And like I said, never ever let go of that. Especially, I mean that as a life tip in general for everybody, but especially if you are like LGBTQ and you're going through a rough situation concerning coming out of the closet. Never let go of your supportive and loving circle of friends and family. They help so much through the dark times. And yeah, that's my story. Not It's looking back on it now, I was worried over nothing. But like I said before, I also don't blame myself for being so worried, because you know, it's it's not easy being gay. It's not. I mean, it's way better now compared to even 10 years ago. But still, it's just it can be very scary, you know. And not only that, but I've heard stories of people who thought that the people they were going to come out to didn't react the way they were hoping. I once dated a guy whose family is atheist. He came out to them. Everyone was accepting except for the mother. And usually people who are against, homosexuality, they're against it because of religious reasons. Well, according to him, she wasn't. She just thought being gay was unnatural and disgusting. Yeah, so it's like I said, it can be very unpredictable and rough and crazy for any LGBTQ person out there. But like I said, for my life tip, if you've got a supportive circle of friends and family, hold on to that. And that is the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching this. The next video I upload will be a life update. I'll let you know where the hell I've been the past year and a half from this channel, along with other stuff that's been going on with me during that time. And that is about it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Alright, once again, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I can't speak English right now. I will see you in the next video. Have a good day or night wherever you are. Bye bye.